Okay, guys, I wanted to go over the factoring expressions assignment with you. I've got it up here on the smartboard. We'll go over it together. Looking at it to start here, factor 24a plus 6. All right, so what are the factors of 24a? Well, I know that one of the factors of 24a is a. All right, I don't want to get too crazy there, but I want to come over here and factor out 24. And I know that the factors of 24 are 6 and 4. I can use those. All right, and then I factor out 6 a little bit further to 3 and 2, because 3 times 2 equals 6. And I factor 4 down a little bit further. All right, so 2 times 2. All right, so now I've got A times 3 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, I've got them all factored out. All right, now, question 2 is what are the factors of 6? Well, the factors of 6, as I said earlier, just 3 and 2. Now again, to get the common factors, I match up common factors inside those trees. All right, so I've got 3 and 2, 3 and 2. All right, and to find my common factors there, which is number 3, what is the greatest numerical factor to both 24 and 6? I simply multiply that 3 times 2, which gives me 6. Okay, is there a variable common factor? No. All right, the A is only in one factor there. Okay, so I'm going to use the distributive property to factor the expression. I've got 24A plus 6. All right, so I factored the 6 out of both of them. Well, what did I multiply 6 by 6 to get 24A? Well, that would be 4A. So 6 times 4A. And the second term is what did I multiply by 6 to get 6? Well, that would be 1. All right, so when I factor that out, I pull the 6 out, I'm left with 6 times 4A plus 1. We're back for the next part. I know the shadow is horrible on me because I'm looking up into the projector. But we're going to take a look at factoring 16m plus 36. All right, so what are the factors of 16m? Well, first of all, m, because I can't do anything with that. But my factors of 16, I'm going to go ahead and go with 4 times 4. And then I'm going to factor those 4s down to 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, that's 16. All right, so my next step is what are the factors of 36? I'll go ahead and fill in those 16s first. They're m times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I can go ahead and get rid of that tree. All right, well, my factors of 36 will be very similar. All right, I'm going to go with 9 times 4. All right, so over here I got my 3 times 3, and over here I got my 2 times 2. Okay, so my factors of 36 are 3 times 2 times 3 times 2. I messed up the order there, but it really doesn't matter because multiplication is commutative. All right, so go ahead and get rid of the tree. Okay, so I'm going to circle my common factors here. I've got a 2, I've got a 2, got a 2, I've got a 2. All right, so I've got 2 2s. What is the greatest common factor, the GCF, of 16m and 36? What's 2 times 2? All right, each of them have 2 2s as a common factor. 2 2s is 4. Okay, so now I've got a common expression. All right, so 4 times what number will give me 16m? Well, it's going to be 4m. Okay, I'm going to take my 4 out again here. 4 times what gives me 36? That would be 9. All right, so over here I've got 4 times 4m plus 9. So my factored expression is 4 times the quantity of 4m plus 9. Skipping the third section of questions there and going straight into page 2 here, 17 through 22. I want to take a look at a couple of these. Let me get back in camera here to just kind of show you how GCFs work. Okay, we're finding greatest common factor of each pair of terms. Okay, so I'm going to start with 17 here. I've got 12a and 15. All right, so 12a. I know that 12 times a one of the factors is just going to be the a. So I'm going to go ahead and factor out the 12. Okay, 12 is just 3 times 4. 3 is prime. I don't have to go any further. 4 is 2 times 2. All right, so the factors of 12a are simply 3 times 2 times 2 times a. All right, let's take a look at 15. Okay, when I factor 15, it's just 5 times 3. 5 and 3 are both prime. I don't have to take it any further. So what are my common factors? My 3's. So what's the greatest common factor of each pair of terms for 12a and 15? Simply 3. All right, let's go ahead and try another one here. A little more difficult. Let's jump over to 19. Okay, on number 19, I've got 15x and 90y. And the first thing I'm going to do with 15x, I'm just going to go ahead and put x over there by itself because I'm not going to be able to really factor that out. Okay, however, my 15, I can simplify down to 5 times 3. Okay, well, that works. Let's talk 90y. All right, I can go ahead and factor out the y. That really doesn't matter. Let's do the 90. Okay, 90, let's see, 3 and 30. Okay, so 3 times 30. I can go ahead and factor out 6 times 5, and then 3, or my 6 becomes 3 times 2, and I'm all the way down to my prime factors. Okay, so let's go ahead and circle our common factors. I know I got a 5 here and a 5 here, and I've got a 3 here and a 3 here. So what's my greatest common factor? 5 times 3 is 15. So my greatest common factor for 15x and 90y is simply 15. All right, one more. Get rid of all of that. Okay, on 22, I've got 22x, 77y, and 121. So let's go ahead and get these all together. 22x, I can go ahead and factor out the x. I don't really need it. All right, 22, 2 times 11. Okay, both of those are prime. You're done. All right, let's go 77y. All right, factor out the y. 7 times 11. Both are prime. You're done. All right, 121, easy enough, is 11 squared. 11 times 11. Both prime. You're done. Circle the common factor. It's 11. Greatest common factor of those 3 terms is simply 11. There's several more of these. And I want to take a look at 30 first. All right, pretty basic example I want to go ahead and show with you. It's 15x times 50. All right, so when I factor 15x, I just kind of leave x off by itself because I don't need it. And when I do 15, I'm going to go ahead and make it 3 times 5. All right, 50 over here, 5 times 10. 10 is 2 times 5. I'm all primed up. All right, my greatest common factor is my 5. All right, so I'm going to move the 5 outside the parentheses. Let's use some distributive property here. What did I multiply 15x by, or 5 to get 15x? Well, it was 3x. All right, and over here I took the 5 out, so I got 5 times 2 left, which is simply 10. All right, I want you to notice something. All right, after I factor out the 5s, what's left? The x that I factored out and the 3 that I factored out. So now 3 times x is 3x. The factors that are left out here, 5 times 2, which is 10. All right, once you get your common factor out, you simply put the non-common factors back together and put them inside parentheses. That's how the distributive property works. We'll try it again here, see if the rule holds up. Okay, I'm going to start with 14a. All right, I'll go ahead and factor a out by itself. My next factors are 7 times 2. Okay. My next term is negative 35. I'm going to factor out 7 and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and make the 5 negative. All right, the reason being is now I see my 7s are common terms, so that's what's going to be outside the parentheses. Let's talk about what I have left inside the parentheses. In my 14a, I still have a 2 and a. All right, 2 times a is 2a. Okay, down here, my 35, I got rid of the 7. What do I have left? Just my minus 5. So when I factor out 14a minus 35, I'm left with 7 times 2a minus 5. Okay, for the last one, we're going to come off the smartboard here. We have 4x plus 2 plus 4y. This is number 41 on your assignment. But I'm going to factor out all 3 of them. All right, when I factor out 4x, all right, I factor out the x, it's already done. 4 is simply 2 times 2. All right, 2, real simple, 2 and 1. The only 2 numbers you can multiply together and get 2. All right, at least whole numbers. All right, 4y, go ahead and factor out the y, and factor 4 to 2 times 2. All right, my common factor is 2. So I'm going to go ahead and put that outside the parentheses. In my first term, what do I have left? 2 times x. All right, I'm going to add the second term. All right, the 2's gone. What do I have left? In this case, the whole 2 is gone, so I only have 1. All right, in this one, the 2's gone. What am I left with? 2 times y. And what do you have? When you're all said and done, you have 2 times the quantity of 2x plus 1 plus 2y.